It is very casual Friday today, even though pretty much like every day is Friday for me now, since I'm still off work. Yeah, that little thing that you're supposed to go to every day. Not doing that right now. So I am here today to test out 3 new Colourpop items, and I'm super excited for them because I've heard that they were really, really good, and you know, I'm all about the good. So it was inevitable. Here today I have the Hydrating Hyaluronic Acid Primer and Hydrating Foundation, which I'm so excited for. Like I said last time, I hope I got my correct shade. We're about to find out. It's judgment time. And then we have this just on the side, like as an extra little surprise for today. This is just a new blush that I got that I also want to test out and see the color and how it works and everything. So we're going to be doing that. First of all, I'm going to start out with the primer. Now, if you saw my recent Ulta haul video, I had just picked up these products and I was talking about making separate videos for all of the items to like review them all. So this is the first one that I will be working on, and it's another Colourpop video. Okay, so starting out, I am gonna go in with the primer. I'm gonna just kind of pump a little bit and see how much comes out. Okay, doesn't have a scent. I actually don't think there's fragrance in this. Let me double check. Oop, there it is. Oops, that sucks, but it's not the worst thing in the world. My skin's not irritated or anything right now, so it can probably handle a little bit of fragrance. So I'm just gonna start rubbing this in and see how it feels. Always make sure to pat your primers in also, because you are pushing it into your pores, and this is how it sets your face better, just as a little side note. So that's funny because the fragrance that this primer has isn't really good. I get a really small hint of rose, but it kind of smells like grandma rose perfume, like, if you know what I mean. So I don't love that, but it feels really good. There's no dimethicone in that, so there's no silicone, so it's not gonna feel like that kind of grainy, like fake skin feeling. Like, I don't even know. I don't like silicones here. I'm just gonna say that. So I don't really like this scent, but so far it feels really nice. I'm gonna let it sit for a couple minutes just so it can kind of soak into my pores, and then I'm going to go in with the foundation. So the reason you always want to use a primer before you use your foundation is because this is basically going to act as a protective layer between your real skin and your foundation. This is going to protect your face from having that makeup directly touch your skin, which is really awesome because, you know, sometimes they do put not harsh, but like not the best kind of ingredients in makeup, especially if you're buying from the drugstore. They don't always use the best ingredients, and that's just kind of like, it's kind of a known thing. So some people get bad reactions from trying something new, and this is really gonna help your skin, especially like having the foundation actually stick to your face, and like you want it to set really nicely, you want it all to be even and blended. This is what this does, people. Thank you. So it's been about 2 minutes and it's still pretty tacky. I'm gonna let it dry for 1 more minute and then go in with the foundation. I just kind of want this to dry down so the foundation doesn't like pick up as I'm applying it with my beauty blender. So for my foundation, I always use my beauty blender to apply it, and this is damp. To the people who don't know you're supposed to wet these, like, soak this and wring it out like a sponge, because that is what this is. Anyway, I got the Colourpop Hydrating Foundation in the shade Light 55N, and this is the Pretty Fresh by Colourpop. It is oil-free, vegan, and tested by dermatologists. There is hyaluronic acid in this and coconut water. Just as a side note, I got this really cute mirror. My best friend got it for me for Christmas, and I'm so in love with it. Like, look at it. So that is pretty good coverage so far. I'm going to add a little bit more just to my problem areas. I have rosacea, so I have natural kind of redness in the tops of my cheeks and my nose. So I normally apply just a little bit more to those areas. Obviously, you don't have to if you don't have this problem, but that is me, like I'm saying. So it builds really nicely. I like that a lot. So far I am applying this and I like the hydrating factor in this foundation for sure. I don't like that some foundations start drying like as soon as you apply them and it doesn't give you really a chance to blend in your concealer before you set it. If your face doesn't have a little bit of moisture and it's completely dried out, it's going to cause it to smear, and we do not like that. I am going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the shade Light Peach to just kind of conceal some spots. I do like the fact that this e.l.f. Camo Concealer is really hydrating as well. It is blending really nicely with this foundation so far, so I like that a lot. Oh, I just realized I didn't even like notice that the match was like pretty good because it like matches me pretty well. I do kind of feel like it has like a hint of orange to it, but I'm sure as it oxidizes and I set it with my powder, it'll probably change a little bit. It feels pretty good though, so far. I'm gonna go ahead and set with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. So that is the foundation set and ready to go pretty much. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish the rest of my makeup really quick because I want to see how the rest of it will layer on top of this foundation. I am going to be doing a wear test as well. It's either going to be 5 hours or 8 hours, something like that. For now, I'm just going to test out the blush that I got and then complete the rest of my makeup. And then I'm gonna give my final thoughts on the products that I tested out today along with the wear test. So I'm gonna just test out this blush really quick because I've been wanting to for the last couple days and I haven't had a chance. I'm gonna go ahead and bronze first with my BH Studio Pro Contour and Highlight Palette. Alright, going on with my new blush. This is the Super Shock Cheek Blush in the shade 2 Cool for School. Okay, I think I really like that. This is what I've been wanting an orange blush for. I want it to just look like cute and flushed. That just blends so much nicer with the bronzer too. I don't know how you guys feel about peach blushes, but I actually think I really like that. Let me do the other side. Okay, but I'm kind of obsessed with this blush. That is so pretty. Oh my gosh, that is like the exact shade that I have been looking for. I'm super happy with this blush. I'm really happy that I've actually spent the time researching like the exact color that I wanted. This is so pretty. I'm pretty obsessed, honestly. The only thing that I will say that is kind of annoying is I had to use a lot of this, and I think it's because the texture is kind of like a creamy, almost like moussey formula, so it doesn't grab to the brush like normal powder blushes usually do. Powder picks up in a lot more pigment, so because this is more of like a foamy, almost wet kind of formula, it dampens like the very tips of the brush, and that kind of like gets a little more difficult to blend out sometimes. But with the shade, I think it blended out beautifully and I'm so in love with this. I'm sorry, I got really caught up. Super stoked with the blush, but for now I'm just going to complete the rest of my makeup so I can come back and tell you guys my final thoughts on the foundation, and then I will do a wear test. So I will be right back. Alright, I am back and I completed the rest of my makeup and I am here to chat about these. So going into it, I had pretty high expectations because I have seen a lot of really good reviews about this foundation. It's been about 2 hours since I applied it and it is still looking really good. It did end up having more medium to full coverage. I built it up a little bit more to full coverage kind of in the areas that I needed it to be, but overall I'm pretty happy with this foundation. And the primer did a really good job of like keeping it all in place, like none of it's moved around, and I'm not doing much throughout the rest of of the day, so I'm just gonna continue to wear this for the next couple hours, do a wear test, and see how this really looks in a couple more hours. But I definitely think I really enjoyed this, and I'm excited to continue to use this in my new like foundation routine. It still feels really hydrated, which I love. I usually always have problem areas kind of like around this area and around my mouth with it drying out throughout the day, and that's why I was really curious to try a hydrating foundation. So I'm happy that I did. But for now, that is gonna be the rest of this. I will be back in a couple more hours, and I will see you guys later. I am back. It has been 5 hours since I applied this foundation and primer, and I've gotta say, I didn't really do anything today. I haven't left my house since I did my makeup anyway, but I was wearing glasses earlier and I didn't even get that bad of like an imprint. I really like how this feels on my skin still. I didn't get any creasing around my mouth, so I'm really happy about that. As for my eyes, it's really hard to tell because I did have a lot of fallout from my eyeshadow, which I will have to do differently next time, but that's fine for now. I like that it's not like a luminous foundation, it's a hydrating foundation. So it's like, it's got the coverage. And I actually did get like a pretty decent match for choosing it online, but I'm pretty happy with this foundation. I personally have used a lot of drugstore foundations. I have also used a lot of high-end foundations, and this one is like right in the middle. I really enjoyed it. It's definitely, I would say, better than the Maybelline Fit Me and the BH Cosmetics one that I use. I like how smooth it feels on my skin, and my face just doesn't feel like it's super dry, which I love. So I definitely would recommend if you haven't tried this foundation. What are you waiting for? I'm not sponsored by Colourpop, just so you guys know. I just am a person who loves all of their products, apparently. But I'm obsessed with this foundation. I'm also super obsessed with this blush. I'm so excited that I finally found a shade that I have been looking for the last month. So if you are personally looking for like a orangey peachy blush versus a pink peach blush, which I had the problem of finding way too many of, this one is a great one. The shade Too Cool for School. We like that. But that is pretty much it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this. I post every Wednesday and Saturday mornings, so there will be lots more to come. But for now, that is it, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!